Everybody. So yeah, yesterday was kind of a crash and burn day. There's a kind of a fundamental assumption that was made early in this project, and that assumption was that um, the items, everything that we work with, all the scenes, everything would have IDs, and that those IDs. I don't know who made this assumption, but I think I made this assumption, and I don't think it matters. But those IDs would be unique, and that those IDs would be immutable or they would not change. And that has actually not turned out to be true. And so basically, uh, I ended up having to write kind of some, I guess, what you would call like monkey patch code, just some code to deal with the fact that when I would change something from a point light to a spotlight, the ID changes, and then I need to accommodate that change. So yesterday I was like, okay, that ID changes, so I can't. For materials, I had ID as like the key, and then there was a lookup in a dictionary to the forms for that, and all that whole concept just crumbles when you can't count on the ID staying the same. Uh, so again, you can't count on the word that people like to use to throw around for this is immutable. If the ID can change, if it's not immutable, then uh, that breaks all kinds of concepts throughout this. So then I kind of like said, oh, okay, so what down here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to um, check the dictionary and then write more accommodation code. And I do think that here's the question mark: is this a one-off? Is this in fact a one-off, or am I going to have this in other things throughout the application as IDs shifting around? And if it is, well, then I kind of need to have a fundamental. I mean, I need to create my own ID, but that's a lot of overhead working. Writing a bunch of code to create an ID, and do I want to recycle IDs, or do I want to only add new IDs? Do I make sure, like everybody thinks when you're brand new to this stuff, or when you've only been doing this stuff for a few years, you think, oh, I'll just make my own little ID thing, and I know they'll always be unique if I take the length of arrays and blah 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 blah. That always, sometimes that works. It usually doesn't work. Usually there's a lot of thought that goes into building, keeping unique IDs, and then you never think you need to recycle IDs, and then for some reason you find out that you do need to recycle IDs. And by recycle IDs, I mean like if you had an object like with the ID of 4, and now you've deleted that object, is do you want to have 4 back again as a new ID in the application? Um, and sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. Um, but you do definitely. It is possible that you can basically end up getting bigger than the number. You can get to large numbers that you just don't really want to deal with if you just don't recycle IDs, because something will come up where you end up having to wipe out a whole bunch of IDs and rename them all or whatever, and you end up with these huge ones. So fortunately, there are libraries out there. I can't think of any right now, but there are libraries out there that will get you an ID, that will get you keep it for Angular, that you can include as a service, a singleton service that then you can count on the IDs always being unique, and stuff like that. So usually, I don't know. I guess I've never done this before, but ChatGPT may be a good resource. Okay, so do you know of any Angular libraries that um, can help generate and maintain unique IDs? Question mark. Here are some options. Okay, yeah, I've actually used this Angular UUID in different applications, and it's been like rock solid. Um, then it looks like this Nano ID. I like the fact that it says it's small. Probably does this thing also? This one says it's simple. Oh, okay, the Angular CDK, which I already have installed. I'm pretty sure. And the nice thing about using the CDK is that it will most, almost 99.9% sure that it'll be maintained. And nothing weird will happen when you do an upgrade. Um, okay, so import unique, generate unique ID. So the big question I have is like, if I use this in two different um, like how do I so it made sense like when back in the days when I had um, modules, like okay, what is the scope of this, and because I would want these unique IDs to be unique everywhere. um, um, and see with the I guess maybe I'll try this one. I wonder, okay, so let's go there and let's go to the top of our light manager and do this. So yeah, to me, like the question is, okay, so, and I guess we'll just have to experiment with it. Um, the question is, if I do this exact thing, right, um, in the material, in the, let's say in the mesh manager, will I get a different unique ID? Um, and actually, I don't really, no, I don't want to do that here. I'd want to do this in the Three.js. And then I guess it doesn't matter. It won't matter because everything gets created out of the Three.js. So Three.js library service. All right, so let's see what we get here. So they should be in the same scope. So I won't even have to worry about this. All right, I think that is fine. And then and I don't think we need a prefix. I want them just to be unique. I think the prefix would kind of help you, like if I wanted it only to be lights. So basically, okay, so okay, that's really strange. Let's do a search on that. Well, let's just tell it. Let's see what ChatGPT this error. It seems I've made an error. So unique selection. I'm just curious what it does have in there, and then I'll go back and read that again. Listen, notify. Okay, so there's this unique. Okay, that is so bizarre that it got it so wrong the first time. Um, I don't think it really gave. It tells me that it doesn't actually have that method. All right. Yeah, I don't know. I would hope. I hope I'm not the only one that is just like not like just mind blown by that. Like I don't know how it got that so wrong. Now it's saying that it can't find it. Okay, so unique ID factory. Yeah, so that doesn't even work. I don't even know. It says it's not saying that, and I don't know. It's kind of wild. And now it's saying that this doesn't exist. Oops, that one worked. This said it didn't have. Okay, it's giving me a blue. What blue usually? Oh, saying, hey, yeah, I can just move that for you. Okay, thank you. Um, let's see. This one is saying that it doesn't exist. Okay, so I'm saying, okay, so let's see what what ChatGPT says. I'm seeing this error. Oh wait, that's not the right. Let's see. Oh my God. So now it's saying, hey, just make your own. All right, so let's go ahead and I think I need to install um, UUID. I've definitely used this one before. Let's see. Yeah. It is so weird though. I'm just very curious. I'm just gonna do a Google search. Uh, unique ID with uh, Angular CDK. Yeah, it is weird. It looks like I don't know. Yeah, and these guys are saying UUID. All right, so I guess next video, because it was probably pretty long. Yeah, we're already 14 minutes in. Uh, I guess next video we'll try to get UUID installed and to get that, and then basically get a unique ID and then update the style or the TypeScript and everything to make that work. Um, this is like, I mean, guys, everybody, these artificial intelligence are nowhere near being able to replace developers. They just aren't. It may, that I think what we saw, and this was not something that I pre-set up, but it's not particularly unusual. It's moderately rare, but like it just made that stuff up. I have no idea why in the world it thought that we could use the CDK. It makes sense. I mean, it totally makes sense that you'd be able to use the CDK to generate, because they must create unique IDs all over the place inside of there. And I mean, it put this stuff together and all that, and it was just like totally wrong and not even close to right. Um, it just made it up. So my, I don't, obviously in general, like today it wasted my time. It wasted our time. But 9 times out of 10, 99 times out of 100, can, it does work, and it helps, it saves time, but it never does the whole job. I've never ever had it do the whole job for me. Um, and this is the kind of thing you need to do. And to be, if you're being 100% honest with yourself, like if you're a hiring manager or something like that, and you think, oh, okay, I'm not going to have to, I can hire a more junior developer. Yeah, you're going to be able to hire a more junior developer to get 9 out of 10 things done because of ChatGPT. But that 1 out of 10 things that ChatGPT kind of screws you out of, you still have to get that done. So you still need a senior developer. You still need somebody that's been around the block a few times. You know, I mean, don't get me wrong. Junior developers are the workhorse of the software development industry. You're just never, as a senior developer, you will never have the drive and sort of creative juices of a junior developer. But you will more, as a senior developer, way more, like 100 times more than make up for that lack of just being able to sit there and stare at the computer for 20 hours straight while you're eating junk food and drinking Red Bulls or whatever it takes, for 6 days in a row with your wisdom. Your wisdom will beat that every single time. Yeah, maybe if once like you've an application has been so architected that it is, like what you need to do is absolutely figure it out, and um, and all that, then yeah, that unleash the juniors. They will get it done. And the only way you'll ever get a senior is by nurturing a junior. Like the so juniors, of course, are always going to be needed and desperately needed, but these new tools make seniors even more powerful or more valuable. They don't make them less valuable. Um, and companies that are like trying to train these tools to replace their senior developers are, I mean, this is what you get. This is absolutely what you get. Anyways, happy coding, everybody. Bye.